More drama from Iowa Congressman Steve King. Of course, he is known for, first of all, he's not known for making provocative rhetoric. He's known for making racist comments. Under fire again for sending out a racially charged tweet this weekend that drew condemnation from even his fellow Republicans, while white supremacists applauded him. In his tweet, he praised far-right Dutch politician Geert Wilders. This is what he tweeted. Wilders understands that culture and demographics are our destiny. We can't restore our civilization with somebody else's baby. Now, King, who's been an outspoken critic of illegal immigration, was asked to clarify his comments on CNN yesterday, but he stood by them.
You cannot rebuild your civilization with somebody else's babies. You've got to keep your birth rate up, and that you need to teach your children your values. And in doing so, then you can grow your population and you can strengthen your culture. You can strengthen your way of life.
Folks, it was, many people who jumped on him because of that. A Republican congressman out of Florida trashed him and asked about his babies. Congressman John Lewis, this is bigoted and racist. It suggests there is one tradition and one appearance that all humanity should conform to. Former Republican presidential candidate Jeb Bush tweeted, "America is a nation of immigrants. The sentiment expressed by Steve King doesn't reflect our shared history of values." King got praise from David Duke, the former Grand Wizard of the KKK, who tweeted, "God bless Steve King," in all caps. Also yesterday, folks, Senator Tim Scott of South Carolina, he also released a statement. I thought it was a weak statement on Twitter, so I texted him last night and I said, "Is that it?" So they sent this email to me last night. Representative King's comments immediately brought to mind the motto printed on our nation's coin, "E pluribus unum," or "out of many one." And as a Christian myself, I believe we are all descended from the same place. His statements are hateful and indefensible, and I firmly reject them. That, of course, again, the communications director of Senator Tim Scott. Let's go to our panel, Wilma Leon, Dr. Avis Jones-DeWeaver. Look, Avis, Steve King is known for making racist comments. Now, let me be clear. I very rarely call someone racist, but he makes racist comments. When he said he wants an America where we all look alike, he ain't talking about black people or Latino people.
Absolutely not. And when David Duke is on Twitter giving you a virtual high five, I think it's pretty easy to call him a racist, right? And what's really sad here, obviously, what have we heard from the White House after this? Crickets, right? This is in line with the sort of culture that this White House has created, where racists just feel like really emboldened to be able to come out and say what they really think. And what I think is very interesting about and enlightening to me as a woman about his particular statement is that, to me, it sheds so much light on why many conservatives are so concerned about women's choices when it comes to reproduction. They like to talk all of this ridiculousness about black genocide as a way to try to consume black people in this issue and make them pull them to their point of view. But the reality is they want white women to have more babies. That's the reality. So he is definitely pushing a white nationalist standpoint, and he's not standing down from it. And we not only obviously have a white nationalist in the White House, we now have white nationalists who are really ready to really come out and be unapologetic about it, who are in the nation's capital as well.
Warren?
Well, why should Steve King stand down? Why should Congressman King stand down when those are the politics and that's the rhetoric that got him as president? What he is referring to and what he is reflecting is how many whites, they're reacting to the browning of America, and they see their future minority status as threatening, and it's pushing their political leanings to an ultra-right white nationalist politics. And it's not an accident that we see him aligning himself with European politicians, because you have white nationalist sentiments that are on the rise in Denmark, in Germany, in Britain, in Austria. And because these other countries, they're fearing immigration from Africans, from Muslims, from other dark-skinned people, many of them who were the former colonists of the countries that they colonized, and they're also coming from the Middle East. This is the xenophobia that Donald Trump ran on, Donald Trump won on, and I think where you're going next is, where are black Republicans in this discussion? Zero, nowhere, because they don't want to offend their benefactors.
And again, I think what you have here, this is a sitting member of Congress. And then, of course, you had Speaker of the House Paul Ryan, who said, oh, clearly he must have been misquoted, and he's likely going to clarify that. And he came back and said, no, I meant exactly what I said, Avis.
Exactly. I mean, come on, let's just be very real about it. He is, as you mentioned, a racist. He is not the only one. I wouldn't be surprised if we begin to hear more comments like this coming from others. This is a moment in which people feel emboldened to not only say racist things, but do racist things. We know that sort of hate crimes have actually spiked under this new administration, and this administration has basically said very little, if anything, about it. And what little they have said about it, they've been pushed to it, dragging every step of the way. And so there's clearly this moment where white nationalists feel like it's their time, and they're being bold about it. Another really quick point I want to make in terms of what we're seeing all over Europe, this is another tie with Russia, okay? A lot of these white nationalist groups that have been gaining power in Europe have been helped by Russia in terms of gaining power in their countries. And we've seen this same thing happen in this country with Trump. There is a reason why they picked Trump to help. It's because they knew that he would push forward their white nationalist perspective, and they have got another puppet as a head of state.
All right, then, and also I'm searching here on the internet. I see nothing from Utah Congresswoman Mia Love about the comments by Steve King, and I'm looking. And I'm trying to find, is there anything here from Will Hurd as well? And that's the deal there. It's like, Jesus, if you're a black Republican in Congress, this is an easy one. I mean, you got white Republicans, Arizona Senator Jeff Flake and others who have trashed him. But Jesus, the silence of black Republicans is deafening.
Again, Roland, it's deafening. It's deafening because I'm going to say this, and I hope people understand the context in which it's coming through. You cannot be a black Republican and be concerned about the whole in terms of African Americans, because Republican politics is about the individual. It is not about the benefit of the collective. And so these individuals are concerned about themselves. They are concerned about their own positions. They are not concerned about the benefit of the collective, which is what our struggle in this country has been about since we got here in 1619. And so they are not going to offend their benefactors in no way, shape, or form. And it's also interesting that, see, there's an interventionalist colonial politics at play here, and these chickens are coming home to roost. And that is a piece of this that is also conspicuously absent from the discussion. People are coming to this country from Central America. People are coming to this country from South America because of American foreign policy, and it's intervening in their countries, and it's being devastating to their economies. This math is not that hard to do.
And again, folks, I don't find anything from Congressman Will Hurd. So the two black Republicans in the House have said nothing about their fellow House member, Iowa Congressman Steve King.
A peaceful protest turned deadly. 37-year-old black man was shot and killed by Baton Rouge police. His hands are in the air, and you still get shot by the cops.
Oh my God, please don't tell me he's dead.
We're not going to let hate define us.
Race is a big part of this. If truly all lives matter, then all lives need to matter equally.
What we require is action. What we require is accountability. We understand that black lives do matter, and we will keep focused on this issue.
NewsOne Now, every weekday morning at 7 on TV1.